Hello students, this video will go over how to design a magazine cover in Pixlr. This video will cover step number 1, which is document setup and placing your main image. There will be a second video in this series that will cover how to lay out the text and title for your magazine cover. Right now, the main thing that you have to decide upon is whether you want a full page spread of your photograph or whether you want a border like this example here with Time magazine. In some of the examples that we looked at in class, some of them are a little bit more full. But there are some examples like this Forbes magazine where there's a green border, and that green also happens to match what's inside the photograph. Time magazine has this iconic fire engine red. If it's a solid color, if you're going for more glamour style, you could use a thicker pink border. It is a little more complicated to have the portrait like popping out of the border, but it is something that you can do, but we would do that would have to demonstrate that in class. So again, you're choosing right now whether you want a full frame or a border. So let's get into document setup. So when I'm using Pixlr, I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to File, New Image, and I'm going to type Magazine Cover. For setting up the file, the width of your document you want to be 2,000 pixels, and then height you want 3,000 pixels. You want it to be roughly, taller than it is wide so that you have that nice vertical format. At this point, you can set a background color. If you don't know, you can just leave it white, or you can click one of these preset features, or you can adjust it and make it darker or lighter within using the bigger bar down below. For now, I'm going to just leave it white, and I'll change it later. Once I have the background color picked, I will hit Create. So here is my vertical canvas. Next step is I'm going to place my picture into this document. To do that, I'm going to go to Layer, and I'm going to go to Insert Image or Add Image as Layer, and click on that and find the picture that I want to use. All right, so I have my picture. I'm going to just click Open, and now it will place the picture in. Depending on the size of the file it was before when you took the picture, it may or may not give you any sort of white borders. At this point, even before you add borders, you want to stretch your photograph so that it fits in the entire picture frame. And as you can see, the top third and the bottom, a little bit of the bottom, are already cut off. But that's okay, because I had extra space in my artwork. When you're placing your photograph, you don't want to place it so that the head of your portrait or whatever you're working on is like towards the bottom third. And you also don't want to place it directly in the middle, because you want to leave room at the bottom for adding any extra copy or text. So as a general rule in magazine layout design, the eyes are in the top third of the artwork. In this case, I'm going to move the head a little bit to the side so that I have room to add some text down that side. So once I've placed it in there and it's kind of filling my whole page, I'm going to click Enter. So this next part of the video is going to be for those of you who want to add a border around your picture. To do that, you actually go to the scissor tool or the cutout mask tool. Let me get rid of this add. First make sure you're on your layer, and you're going to use Shape Mask. And right now it's preset to rectangle. I'm sorry, let me get rid of this add here. And I'm going to draw a rectangle around what I want to keep. Everything around the outside of this rectangle will become my border. And voila, here is my border. Right now it's a little off. It's like a little too high, too thick at the top. You want to try as best as you can to make it symmetrical. Next, I'm going to go to my background layer, choose a color. So right now I have this fire engine red picked, and I'm going to just fill that background layer with a solid red. I could change this to any color that I want. Could make it that kind of dark green of like Forbes magazine. Just remember to be on the background layer when you click fill. I kind of like this because it matches my shirt. It gives it that earthy tone. So maybe this is like an environmental magazine or a money magazine that wants to do green. So that was how to add a border. You can control how thick or thin you want the border. The next step is going to be how to fix any sort of blemishes, acne, or wrinkles that you may have. I don't have a lot of acne at the moment, but I do have these wrinkles on my neck that I was thinking about getting rid of. So to get rid of those, I'm going to go to the Heal tool. And now the Heal tool works by just clicking. You can't actually drag and hold. So you just make sure you're on your image and just click, click, and it will make this little droplet effect as it patches up or heals over that whatever sort of acne or blemish you're trying to cover. So this is great for like stray wrinkles. It's also great for stray hairs. So I'm just going to kind of do a check to see, like, here's a random hair from the beard. Check my eyebrows are good. Oh, but there's a few little stray hairs coming down out of my face. So let me just click those away. And what it's doing is it's taking pixels from around the hair and it's like patching over them. So it works better in the skin. It's a little harder on the outside edges here, like where this hair is kind of a little stretched, but it is creating like a little bit of a blur. So I'll go with it. I like that one. Just double checking, see if there are any stray hairs. Yep, no, I think it's pretty good. So I've placed the image, I've added a border, and I've done a little bit of retouching. The last part I want to go over is how to save. So go to Save and save your copy as a JPEG. So when you save as a JPEG, it will flatten all the layers, but it will create a much smaller file size so that you can upload it to Google Classroom. I would also highly recommend that you save a second copy as a PXZ file for working. So this PXZ file will keep and preserve all the layers. So when you start to add things like the title bar and the text, you'll actually be able to go back in and edit those at a later date on any computer. This will also automatically save your work to the browser, but you know how inconsistent Classroom or Google Chromebooks are, so it may not always be there. So as of right now, the key thing is this video covers the initial document setup and image placement. For this week, all you need to do is place your image into your artwork and remember to keep that face in the top third of your picture frame. Next week and the next video in this series will cover how to add a title bar and smaller subheaders and article headers into your cover, into your magazine cover. If you have any other questions or you're struggling with this assignment, please email me and we can set up a time to meet during office hours. I hope everybody's safe and well and have a great day.